Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण dear devotees. So today is Sunday. It is 17th of November. It is the Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Krishna Paksham and Vidyatadi. So there are no Vaishnavas in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into our daily Pulam Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami describing to Parikshit Maharaj about the Vaikuntha Loka. So when the Lord is showing Brahma is still sitting in the lotus flower. So sitting on the lotus flower itself, he is seeing all the Vaikuntha planets, all the Vaikuntha Loka. In that Vaikuntha Loka, so there is no mode of ignorance and passion, or also no mix of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And there is no time influence, there is no illusory energy, and all the demigods and demons, so both worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So demon also, they act in like a devotees. So demons, that does not mean that they are bad. So their quality, they do not have the demonic nature there. So, and then further, Sukadeva Goswami was explaining the bodily complexion of the people of the Vaikuntha. So, in the last session, Shamavadataha Satapatra Lochanaha Pishangavastraha Suruchaha Supeshashaha Sarve Chaturbahava Udmishanmani Prevek Nishkabharanaha Suvachyasaha. And they're all in a bluish complexion of their bodies. And they have got lotus petal kind of eyes. And they're all having yellow garments, Pishanga Vastraha and Surichaha Supeshashaha. They are very attractive and Supeshashaha. They are always youthful. So that one, I shall just share this one thing. I couldn't tell Lucas. Just sharing, so Vaikuntha people. Okay, so this is the people of Vaikuntha, all are having four hands. So this is the picture of Dhruva Maharaj when he was going to Vaikuntha Loka. So the Parshvadas, they came and then they're taking Dhruva Maharaj. So here the people, they're all having white garments, and also there is a few more pictures of it. Just to show. Okay, so Jaya and Vijaya. So they are all having yellow garment, Pisingavastraha, Suruchaha, they are very attractive, Supeshashaha, they're youthful, growing youth. So all in the teenagers. And Sarve Chaturbaho Udmishanmani, all having the four hands. At Udmishanmani, they have got pearls necklaces in their necks, pearl necklaces in their necks. Unmishanmani, Preveka Nishkabaranaha Suvatyasaha. And they are all having all good qualities. Preveka Nishkabaranaha and good quality ornaments, medallions. And Suvatyasaha, their bodies are effulgent. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, and today he is saying that what and all they are also wearing, what kind of jewels and pearl necklaces or jewelries kind of thing. He is explaining about it. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We explaining about also the kiritas and everything else. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 12. प्रवालवैडूर्यमृणालवर्चसः परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमौलिमालिनः Pravala, Vaidurya, Mrunala, Varchasaha. And they have got coral. Pravala is the coral, which is of in a reddish color, I think. And Vaidurya, a special diamond. Vaidurya. And Mrunala, Varchasaha. Mrunala is the celestial lotus flower. So lotus flowers of this material world and also lotus flowers of the celestial regions. Brunala Varchasaha, their bodily race. And also they are having all kinds of these jewelries. They are emanating so much of effulgence from them. And then Parispurat Kundala Mauli Marinaha, blooming. Parispurat is the blooming Kundala earrings. They're always glittering earrings. Mauli Malinaha, their heads are decorated with the crowns and with garlands. Mauli Malinaha with garlands, and also Mauli, I think it is also heads. Likewise, Pravala Vaidurya Mrunala Varchasaha Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. It's a small verse. So translation for this verse. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands in their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Mrida Sachi Mataji? Would you like to read the purport, please? Small purport. Or any other devotees? Yes, Mataji, please.
There are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya, or possessing bodily features like those of the personality of Godhead. The Vaidya diamond is especially meant for the personality of Godhead, but one who achieves the liberation of bodily equality with the Lord, especially favored with such diamond on his body. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here there are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya. There are four kinds of liberations: Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, and Saristi. Sa Saristi is Salokya is the Lord is living in the Vaikuntha planet, and it is people who are liberated getting that Salokya, they go to the same planet as the Lord. That is Salokya liberation. And then Sarupya. It is Sarupya is going there, plus they also get the form of similar kind of features of the Lord. Sarupya. And then third one is the Samipya. Furthermore, they will go nearer to Krishna, nearer to the Lord. That is the Samipya, nearer. And then Saristi is the having same opulences as the Lord. Same opulences. Lord is enjoying the same similar kind of opulences. Devotees also enjoy those. Saristi. And then these are the four of the liberations for the devotees, but one is the Ekatvam, Apyuta, Salokya Saristi, Samipya, Sarupya ekatvam apyuta. Dimanam na gruhanti vina mat sevanam janaha. So the Lord says to Durvasa Muni, saying that, so my devotees, they never demand for these kinds of liberations, 5 kinds of liberations. They always wanted to engage. Mat sevanam janaha. Even though I wanted to give, they do not take unless they complete their devotional service. First, they wanted to complete that devotional service. So likewise, these are the 5 kinds of liberations. People here, Prabhupada is explaining, who got the sarupya or possessing the bodily features, like those of the personality of Godhead. And Vaidurya diamond is especially meant, I think here Prabhupada is meant about the Kaustubha jewel. Kaustubha is only meant for Krishna or the Vishnu. So wherever he, Narayana, wherever he is there, he had got that. That is the only difference between Kaustubha jewel and the Srivacha. These two symbols, they exist on the Lord's body, but not on other inhabitants of the Vaikuntha. Kaustubha Mukta Kandaram. लसत पंकज किंजल का कौस्तुभ आमुक्त कंदरम. Okay, they're very beautiful verses. Again, glorifying the beauty. There is glorifying the Lord, each and every limb of the Lord. It is beautifully explained in the third canto, 28th chapter. So one has to meditate on that bodily features of the Lord. So that तस्मिन् लब्धपदं चित्तं सर्वावयव संसितं. So there, Kapil Bhagavan says that one has to meditate each and every limb. One has to meditate for a very longer time. So just like starting from the lotus feet of the Lord, and until the face. They're very beautiful verses, but okay. And then here Prabhupada is explaining, but one who achieves the liberation of the bodily equality with the Lord is especially favored with such diamonds on his body. So likewise, Prabhupada, these are all the explanations of the Vaikuntha plan, people of the Vaikuntha. So we see here a bodily complexion of, for example, Jaya and Vijaya. So inside there are so many palaces, big palaces here, another palace, the airplanes are going on, and Jaya and Vijaya having, even they have got the anklets and yellow garments, and they have got armlets and also some kind of bangles and some jewelries on their necks, things, some of these reddish ones, and also earrings. These are the different qualities. Their bodies are always youthful, growing youth. That is the suvachasaha, supeshashaha, श्यामावदाताः शतपत्रलोचनाः पिशङ्गवस्त्राः सुरुचः सुपेशशः सर्वे चतुर्बाहु उन्मिषन्मणि, because they have got 4 hands and sometimes these flower garlands are just hanging around these four hands. Okay, so these are the qualities of people of Vaikuntha. प्रवालवैडूर्यं मृणालवर्चसः परिस्फुरत् कुण्डल मौलिमालिनः. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying. Okay, so
Hare
that
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So what's the reason to be in that position? Is it is because I think what we were told that everybody is equal when you go to Krishna. You're only, you have a different position to serve him, but there's no ranking, is there?
So they are all equal in the spiritual nature, all transcendental, but they have got varieties of the services. It depends on their mood and desire.
All right.
So, for example, if you go to the temple, so one person is engaging in the deity worship, one person is just cleaning, one person is door guarding, and then one person is engaging, receiving the devotee, showing something and explaining about the Lord. So, likewise, but when all comes together to the darshan time, everyone stand in front of the Lord with equal positions.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But I suppose because it's different roles.
Yes,
And that's because they desire it, is it? Or is it because
they just decide the mood they have developed with the
they
Lord.
moved, yeah, they've worked towards it, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the significance of the jewel on the umbilicus, the belly?
So this jewelries, significance of these jewelries, therefore beautifying their bodies. Of course, they are
All right.
naturally beautiful, but they are also having all kinds of ornaments.
Yeah.
For example, here in this material world, if we see the king would be having all kinds of jewelries on his body, on his head. There is a very beautiful crown. All these things are, we think that he is great. He is to distinguish from all others. But here in this Vaikuntha Loka, everyone are having all kinds of things. So immediately it is giving an indication to the people of this material worlds, saying that they're all at one particular standard, the living conditions of the Vaikuntha planet.
Mm.
And they do not get older. There is no time influence. So that is the nature of Vaikuntha Loka. That is what one has to desire to go for. This is Sukadeva Goswami was mentioning, Swadrushtavuddhihi Purushairabhishtutam. People who are engaged in the self-realization, they desire to go there. They adore the Vaikuntha planets. Yuru Vaikuntha Lokam Sarvaloka Namaskrutam.
And what happened to the four Kumaras, Prabhu? Did they ever grow up and change?
They do not grow. That always they have cursed themselves that to be just only in the 5 years old children.
All right.
Dashardhavaiso Vitatma Tattvan.
And
Dasha.
remains naked, yeah? Did they remain
Yes.
naked?
Yes, they remain naked. They don't need clothes. 5 years old children, they don't need
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And when we are accumulating this clothes, that clothes, and everything, again, the material possessions would take over our life.
Yeah.
So, but their desire was Cheru Vihasalokan Lokeshu Vigataspruhaha, but they did not have a desire to stay in the Vaikuntha Loka. But they once upon a time they wanted to Ekada Vaikunto Tayakada Bhagavato Vaikuntasya Amalatmanaha. They just once they wanted to see and they wanted to visit Vaikuntha Loka to see the Lord and then come back. But they did not have desire to stay there, to live there. Some people in this country, they come on a visiting visa and then go. This country does not allow them to stay here.
Mm.
It is, but if you wanted to stay here, we have to follow rules and regulations. There are some conditions. Likewise, if we wanted to become citizens of a country or citizens of Vaikuntha Loka, that's what we are practicing. This is the Bidi Bhakti, later on, Raghanuga Bhakti, all these things. And like we have countries going, their representatives or ambassadors of the country, they go to different countries and they have got some kind of embassy there. So they are representatives, like spiritual masters means they are coming from the Vaikuntha Lokas. They are the Nitya Muktas. Though they come here, they canvass that about the Supreme Personality of Godhead just come. So it is not your real condition here in this material world. Janan जनस्य कृष्णाभिमुखस्य रेवाद् अधर्मशीलस्य सुदुःखितस्य अनुग्रहाय चरन्ति ऋणं भूतानि भव्यानि जनार्दनस्य. So they canvas here and then saying that, okay, let's go, everyone. They canvas and giving the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead about the Vaikuntha planets, bringing from the scriptures everything. And then, so likewise, some countries will come and then advertise that we have got this much of things. Likewise, they advertise their countries for marketing purposes. So, and people get attracted and go there, and finally they will have to spend all of their money there and then come with empty pockets. That is of the material nature. But here, spiritual world, whatever they're canvassing that you come here, you come there, there is no knowledge, no disease, no death, no time influence. You live happy. This is it's a different marketing. It is the benefit for everyone. No lose.
Is there in Srimad Bhagavatam solely we can find about the four Kumaras?
Yes, Mataji. So there are so much of information about the four Kumar, not only Bhagavatam, in many other scriptures also.
Right.
So, in the 12th chapter of Srimad third canto, there whenever Brahma is creating at the time, first he creates Sasajagri Antamishram Atatamishram Adikurat Mahamoham cha Moham cha Tamasasya um, Ajnana Tamaha. So these are the things, Brahma, these five material things he creates, and then he was not happy. Later on, after purifying himself, then he creates these four Kumaras and asking them to go and expand progeny, but they did not agree to it. Immediately he got very angry, and during that time, from his eyebrows, Rudra comes. So in terms of the age, these are the first living entities. I mean, first children of Brahma before Rudra as well, from the as per Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, later on, there is again these Kumaras also. In the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, there Maitreya Rishi says that Kumaras they wanted to visit the Lord, and so from the celestial Ganges river, they take a dip there and go to the Garbhodaka ocean where Adishesha is there, and then they hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the Ananta, Lord Ananta there directly. That also we see in the Temple of Vedic Planetarium. So there, if we see on the bottom, Ananta is speaking Bhagavatam to the four Kumaras. That is also said in the 8th chapter of third canto.
Thank you.
And that Bhagavatam also, Maitreya Rishi, he received in that lineage, Bhagavatam. He has heard from Krishna also directly, but here that Sankhya Kumara spoke to Sankhya Muni spoke to Parashara Muni spoke to Vyasadeva and Maitreya Rishi. So Maitreya Rishi received that knowledge and he is speaking to Vidura in the third canto. That is also coming from that Kumara. One more lineage. So, and Chetashloki Bhagavata that we are going to see in this second canto of this chapter, 9th chapter, that Lord speaks that Chetashloki Bhagavata directly to Brahma, Brahma to Narada Muni, Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. That lineage is different. But though that knowledge is received in different lineages, but all are coinciding and with Krishna, with the Lord, without any much differences. Okay, so that is about the Vaikuntha Loka. And can I request all devotees just take a turn to recite these verses? I think these are very beautiful because when you are meditating, knowing about that Vaikuntha Loka, it will keep reminding us. And it. So yesterday also we recited. Would you like to take turns, please?
Yes, Prabhu, that'd be nice.
Yes, Mataji. Let me just 1 second. I'll put the two verses together. Okay, 11 and 12, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. 11 is, can you come down a bit, please, Prabhu? Haribo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shama Vadata Satapatra Lochanaha Pishanti Vastra Surucha Supesha Saha Sarve Chaturbhava Bhava Umishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharanaha Sarvarcha Saha Prabhala Vaidarya Mirnala Vachasaha Parishpurat Kundala Muli Milana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Usha Mataji, please?
सतपात्रलोचनः पीसङ्गवस्त्रः सुरुचः सुपेशः सुपेशसः सर्वे चतुर्बाहुर्मे प्रवेकनिष्काम्बरणं सुवर्चसः प्रवालवैदुर्यामृणनाचषः स्फुरतः कुण्डलमौलिमलिनः.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Saranya Mataji next, please?
हरे कृष्ण. श्यामावद्दाः सतपत्रलोचनाः विशाङ्गवस्त्रः सुरुचा सुबेशशाः सर्वे चतुर्भाव उन्मिषन्मानि प्रावेगनिष्काभरणाः सुवर्चशाः प्रावालवैडूर्यमृणालवर्चशाः परिस्फुरात् कुण्डलमौलिमालिनाः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. Can I request Asha Mataji, please?
श्यामवादा सदपत्रलोचना विशङ्गवस्त्राशेषसुपेशसः सर्वे सदुपाहव उन्मिषन्मानि प्रवेह निष्काभरण सुवर्चसः प्रवालवैदुर्य कृणालवर्चसः परिस्फुरत्कुण्डल मौलिमालिना.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Mrida Sachi Mataji if available?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. श्यामा वदन्त सतपत्रलोचन पिसङ्गवर्तना सुरुचा सुप्से सह सर्वे चौद्भव उन्मिषन्मनि प्रवेकनिष्कम्भरणः सुवर्चसा प्रभालवैद्र्यमर्णालवर्चसा परिस्फुर्तकुण्डलमौलिमलिनः. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you so much. So this is how we meditate when we are reciting, and we feel very happy just knowing that features of the Vaikuntha people. To keep remembering. When we keep remembering, this is Jaito Vishan Pumsaha. So, but here we are doing Vishayan Pumsaha, Sangasteshu Pajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Krodod Bhijo Abhijayate. And then, so likewise, क्रोधोद्भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहः स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. That is starting from the dhyayato vishayan. Vishayan means materialistic things. That is how one falls down. But when we are dhyayato, features of the Vaikuntha, then all we are attracted to the Vaikuntha Loka. Asha Mataji wanted to say?
Now, I want to ask a question, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
When you go to Vaikuntha Loka, do you recognize other devotees, Prabhu? When you see Tanya Mother, do you see, you know her from material world? Do you remember?
Not frequently, I think, because Mataji maybe her personal relationship with the Lord is maybe different. In a day, we come together at particular time, but all other times, Mataji has got a different relationship with the Lord and different services. Your
Okay,
different
she'll be
services.
there somewhere else, and you will be somewhere, something.
Yes. So it is again how you are relating your services with the Lord and the relationship with your devotees. That again, that makes the difference.
Mm. And do you remember your past times from material world? Will you be able to?
You're asking me my past life, Mataji?
Now, when you go there, Prabhu, Vaikuntha Loka, uh, like, will you be able to remember? I was like in London before I come, or before I was born in India, something like.
Um, no. So because it is just a dream. Of course, we remember, but it is just a dream. Do we give much importance to the dream?
No.
So this is a uh, dream. So once it is realized, once it comes to the eternity of our life, in a day, as soon as we wake up in the morning, knowing that just if we take a 2 minutes of nap and then again woke up, it is just like that. But here in
Oh,
the
understood. Thank you, Prabhu.
yeah, we don't give much importance to this material world or people or material activities. Even demigods, people who are living in the higher planets, they look at the humans very cheaply. Cheaply in the sense, these people are always suffering with all kinds of things, material problems, working for money, economic development, fighting for ego. So they
Yeah,
are
even
also,
yes,
yeah.
Prabhu. Even I'm with a very tiny bit of Krishna conscious. I see other people why they are fighting, jealous, and they're going to die one day. I feel like that. So I
Yeah.
can imagine how demigods and others think about us.
Yes, Mataji. The demigods only they are thinking like that. And what to speak of Vaikuntha people, as they will simply just ignore.
Oh, okay.
But one thing, it is very fortunate to be like a human and developing Krishna consciousness. Even demigods also, Brahma also saying to demigods, we are all desiring to go back to that Vaikuntha planet, but we are in the positions that it will be very long period for them. Of course, it is not long period. They're also feeling same as us, though it appears for us in our calculations. It may be hundreds of years or millions of years, but they feel like a 100 years like that. In front of Brahma itself, so many people are going to Vaikuntha, but he is thinking when we would go to Vaikuntha or when we would go to Goloka Vrindavan like that. But here, uh, Sukadeva Goswami, what is the necessity of living for so many years? Kim pramattaihi bahubihi hayinaihi parokshunaihi iham varam muhurtum viditam ghatade shreyase yataha. Even varam muhurtum viditam, that is sufficient. Varam muhurtam. Once we get that knowledge of Krishna and transcendental abode of the Lord, and then go back to the Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavana, that is sufficient. What is the necessity of living so many years working for someone else who are not related to us and feeding the body and all these things? Is it required? Because on one day everyone are going to leave their bodies. what is the necessity. But here we need to understand there is a higher purpose than that. Just maintaining the body, that is animalistic nature. But there is higher purpose. That is developing the devotional service to Krishna and mood, relationship, and go back to that eternity again. That we have. Otherwise, it is a forgetful condition of the living entity.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I was made to understand that when you go to Vaikuntha, everybody's forever youthful and beautiful. And you don't have thoughts about sentimental thoughts like, oh, would I recognize my friend or my family or whatever. I don't think that it would be, it's a transcendental type of mentality, isn't it?
So first thing is the emotions of this material world, everything is of nonsense. What is
That's right, yeah.
I like it, I don't like it, and if I don't get it, I just cry. If I get it, I will be happy. These are all nonsensical things. So one has to come out from that kind of thing. Na binandati na dveshti. One should not desire. At the same time, one should not be envious towards any of those things. Na binandati na dveshti tasti prajna pratistita. So he is in the perfect situation. Yes, sarvatra anabhisneha. He is not making attachment with anything of this material nature. Tattatra shubha ashubham. So in such a way, he develops his conditions. No more attachments, no more emotions, just carrying out what is the duty based on the constitutional position.
Yeah, that's right. And that is, I was just trying to think of Asha's Mataji's question, to recognize people there, or you wouldn't want to remember, you wouldn't want, because you're in blissful land.
Yes, there we just carry out our duties. First of all, there are no miseries. So then why we need to have emotions?
That's right. Yeah.
So emotions, this raga dvesha. Raga dvesh vimukta Indriyan Vishan Indriyesharan. Once he is relieved from the Raga Dvesh Vimukta Indri Vishayan Indriyesharan, and also taking back all senses from the Vishayan Indriyesharan. Then Atmavasehi Videyatma Prasadam Adhigachyati, and he will keep his Atma in his control. That is self-realization. Prasadam adhigachyati. When he keeps control, then he will get the prasadam, blessings of Krishna, ultimate goal of life.
Yeah,
No more raga, no more dvesha. Just being.
absolutely. And so our focus would be is to channel our future to get there.
Yes. So this one, the best place is the home itself. Sometimes husband and wife, mother and children, father and children, the relationships. These are the where we can see ragam dvesham. Sometimes children like it, some children they don't like parents when they are not when their desires are not fulfilled by parents. So we see those things. We need to be neutral all the time. Speak of only the duty. What is my duty?
Mm.
I do not speak because I like it or I don't like it, or because you're my child, I speak very nicely. It is not that. We have got love. Love is a natural thing, but we do based on the Shreya, what is the ultimate benefit. Based on that, we align our day-to-day activities. Not because my child like it, I wanted to fulfill, I wanted to give some kind of this is a priyam for time being.
Mm. So love is to be practiced with everybody, not just for your close
Yes,
relations. Yeah.
yes,
But it's not like that in reality, sadly.
yes, mother. Everything is business. Yes, that is the nature of this material world. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move to the Srila Prabhupada as a daily letter. Okay, so today it is letter to Rajumna, May 13th, 1970, Los Angeles. Okay, so can I request Usha Mataji wanted to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. My dear Pradyumna, please accept my blessings. I am in the due receipt of your letter dated 8 May 1970, and I have seen the synonyms of Brahma Samhita
Hare
verses.
Krishna Prabhu, we can't see it.
It appears that
Can you bring it down, please, Prabhu? We can't see the letter.
Mataji is reading, Mataji.
I know, but I see. She got it separately, has she?
no, Mataji, you just your screen. Maybe you have to do from your phone. It appears that is nicely done. Can you see Mataji now?
You may need to swipe right, Mataji. You would see the screen now.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll try.
It appears that it is nice, that it is nicely done. But if I have to see it scrutinizingly, it will take some time. In the last portion of your letter, you write to say, I need to have this back immediately for publication in the upcoming issue of BTG. So I can advise you that you can publish it as it is, and if there is any discrepancy, we will rectify it in future. The policy of the BTG should be always writing articles which can be understood by people in general. Vedic literatures like Brahma Samhita may be published in separate books, but assimilated ideas may be published in BTG. I am sending herewith back the notes on tape 14 Krishna. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, Save and Son. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. And take your points, Mataji.
So Prabhupada is advising about the Back to Good Head magazine, and I probably don't get it Prabhu, so that letter couldn't understand Prabhu, like verses from Samhita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Saranya Mataji, would you like to say any takeaway points from this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So, what I could understand is like, when we published the Back to Godhead magazine, Prabhupada was mentioning that because there is it is just like a preaching, or it we are the audience we are meaning like is the general public who don't know what is Krishna consciousness, who don't know deeply about the philosophy, and also Prabhupada was like to um, keep it as simple as possible, because when someone read it, they will have that curiosity or enthusiasm to understand what is this. So in a plain language, Prabhupada wanted that. And another thing is like, when time is limited, so being practical. So Prabhupada needed that some more time to see that scrutinizingly, but still Prabhupada was mentioning like you can publish these, because it is obvious that the people, the general people who read the back back to Godhead magazine will not be that much scholars to understand the technical things. So, and we can rectify the things in future. So that is a practicality also. Like Prabhupada was very practical also. Like if time is, you can just go with that, because they may not have other condensed to release the next issue. So Prabhupada was sanctioning that also. So sometimes being strict and sometimes being practical. So that is the intelligence Prabhupada had. So that too are my takeaways, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Okay, any other additions to this letter, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I couldn't hear much of what Saranya was saying, but I think what comes out very clearly here is that Prabhupada has always been very sound in his productions. Whatever he produced was always scrutinized and put in a very, very carefully, and it took time for him to get the real essence of what he wants to say to the public. So I think this is something that he's always talked about his writings as well. We should be scrutinizing them and understand it in a deeper sense. So I think that comes out. He was talking about his articles, the BTG, and something to do with the books and how they should be put in the right place as well. That came out before it's published. So we must be legitimate and very, very clear about what we want to say and not just put anything into the books and sell it just for fame and gain. I think that's what comes in. It's a small letter, but it's quite meaningful. It says something about the Brahma Samhita, general Vedic literature. So yeah, he was separating the information where it should be put. Separate books. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, so when we are just putting all Brahma Samhita, it is good to have separate books. And whereas assimilating means when we are putting one kind of topic in, for example, in the Prabhupada explaining, bringing some words from somewhere else and then putting there, assimilating these ideas, maybe published in the back to head, based on time circumstances, quoting different scriptural references. I think that is what Prabhupada may be saying, which I think it is my takeaway. Okay, so this is from Prabhupada's letter. So everything is meant only for to spread Krishna consciousness and to reach to so many, as much people as possible, audience, to take up to the Nam Bhakti Bhavishyati, so that people will take to the devotional service to Krishna. Akilatmani, Sarvadhari, Akilatmani. Nunam Bhakti Bhavishyati, so that iti sankalpa varnaya, and in such a way the determination should be there. So Prabhupada's explanations, giving instructions to the disciples in such a way. Exactly what Brahma asked Narada to go and preach, likewise Prabhupada is reflecting the same things here. Iti sankalpa varnaya, determination. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, that is Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so tomorrow is teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and Tuesday, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhavdi Mataji. Just taking this
Okay.
Tuesday.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So, and then our events will continue throughout the week. Okay, I don't have much updates, and dear devotees, you have been into the temples, and kindly share if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. About the Friday proposal, I just wondered if you can put a poll in the group and for people to show interest and perhaps offer them fortnightly to begin with, because it sounds like not many people are able to make that commitment. And then if it takes off, we can increase it to weekly. What do you think?
Yes, Mataji, that is a good idea. Every fortnight.
Yeah. and also to say what they can commit to.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So if we have at least 3 devotees, then we can just
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also we must state that it's all totally confidential.
yes, Mataji. So it will not be recorded.
Not recorded and not to take out from the group and talk about, each other, if you see what I mean.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Because it might be sensitive issues come up and people don't want anybody else to know, which is, we have to respect that.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
And that you are the person that will be overseeing it, that is running the fair and very safe way.
Yes, Mataji. So even we can secure so that no other people can join the session.
Yes, absolutely, because if it's confidential, you don't want this kind of argy-bargy, as we talk about, getting our thoughts spread all over and people talking about each other. And
Yes,
it's
sure.
not nice. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send that poll today, Mataji. So if you
Thank
get
you.
some response,
Yeah. And
then-
if there's no take, that's fine. No problems.
yeah, sure, Mataji.
It's not bad or good. It's nice if people want it, because the service is there and it's good to reach out and help each other.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Should we keep this one devotee care and support, Mataji, as the title?
Yeah. I think, yeah, absolutely. That sounds good. Support is the main thing. Yeah.
Okay, so devotees care and support, yeah?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Thanks for thinking of it. And
Yeah, some sanghas they do have, for example, I have been seeing this one, devotee care and support.
yeah,
And
they have all sorts of you know support, in the sense they're taking prasadam. I'm involved in that, to people who can't, devotees who can't cook for themselves or go places to come to the temple and stuff like that. Yeah. We have lots of reach out service, and it's taken off. That Meals on Wheels, they were calling it, and then they changed it to care, as you say. And there's another group that it's lots and lots of group going, called, there's Davy. I don't know if you see that. It's called Davy, where people can actually go and talk to people, as well as also they have different workshops to encourage people to meet and discuss and things like that, like flower arranging, and they invite people to come and talk about their legal aspects in their lives, finances and things like that.
yeah. Is there any Mataji you want to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Mataji. I just wanted to uh, like a suggestion, or like my understanding kind of thing. So, how do we maintain the confidentiality even though it is among the devotees, Mataji? So we cannot guarantee the confidentiality, because among the devotees they may share na. So what I was thinking is, like, I don't know, um is it possible, like a one-on-one section or something, like like we do, like we can allow the slot, like we can for every devotees they will for 15 minutes or 10 minutes of, so whatever time, like 30-minute session means two devotees in a day, so they can just come, and maybe you and Amoga Prabhu only there on the other side, so they can just it's just like a casual thing, how your devotional services, everyone is like just a normal discussion, how your sadhana is going, is everything is fine, so they may speak up to you only, because if it is come to a group, many devotees may not feel confident to speak it in a group, and the
Yeah.
personal things will be discussed in a group. So it's like it may be good if it like a one-on-one session. So like only you or Amoka Prabhu, both of you will listen. So most of the time devotees don't need some advice or some, so they just need a shoulder to lie on. So that is the main thing, because a devotee can open their heart to another devotee only because only devotees will understand the other things. If we speak to a material person about the difficulties, they will say like, why you're spending 2 hours to chant, just spend that time on something other important things. So only devotees will understand. So sometimes just being a listener, that itself is a big thing that we can do to a devotee. Because last month, I was seeing an incident like in back in Kerala. One of the devotees' son, he got an accident. He died in a train accident. He was just using the headphone and crossing the railway track, and the train got hit and he died. So all the devotees, they were calling their parents and they were mentioning like, "Oh Prabhu, don't worry. Your son is not the body; he's a soul. So why you're worrying?" So it is like devotees know now we are not the body, we are the soul. But at the time of difficulty, so they just need some, "Oh Prabhu, just I will pray for you." Just that word itself will be sufficient. So devotees are doing is like they are just shooting all the philosophy they know to that people. So that is the sensitivity, like the compassion, the in a sense like a common sense when what to speak. So in devotees, like there's a common template for every situation how to respond. If someone dies, what to say. If someone say like, I'm not able to continue the devotional service, what to say. So we know like what other devotee will say. Like if I say like, I'm not able to continue my sadhana, so there's a general template. So we will try to not follow the general template commonly used by the devotees. So we will be like more like compassionate, and we will be try to put their shoes and understand. So I think it will be benefit if it will be a one-on-one session, or just like devotees can select a slot like this every fortnight or every weekly. So 10 or 15 minutes, if two devotees, your Amoga Prabhu will be there, and we can just how your sadhana going. So I don't know if otherwise if the confidentiality will be maintained, then devotees will feel confident to discuss their personal problems in a team or in a group. I don't know, Mataji, this is what
I
I
agree. Yeah, actually, that is a concern for some people, but it's not going to be like that. Like it would be a choice what you want to say or what you don't want to say, and because you have to gain trust, don't you, when you want to offload any private, personal things, and you can't just go and gain trust just like that. Everybody got choice. I agree with you, the one-to-one. I thought of that, but then how does it work for us to support each other? It's not going to be my advice or my thing, or I think you should do this and I think you should do that. It's actually the group effort to support each other. That's why I call it a group thing, yeah. But it's the thing is that if we put a poll out and explain what it is simply as a support group, people have that choice whether they want to take it or not. And then, of course, when we meet up, we can make the decision how they want it to flow. How do they want this group to go? So it'd be a collective thing. It wouldn't be me telling them this is what I want it to be and this is what it's about. It's just a forum to meet and
Yes.
talk about your difficulties if you choose to. And then of course some people have already shied away, because that's why I had to go away and think about how can this be put forward. And I think I like that about, like when people don't turn up to the group, for instance, sometimes nobody seemed to know, but they think about it and nobody make an effort. So the care would come into a nice slot in that. And then the support is there to help each other, to make sure that people reach out to you, and then you still feel part of the group or feel part of that family, the Sangha family.
Yes, Mataji, that is perfectly Right. So in the forum, first we come together, and then later on, based on the needs, like Serenya Mataji advised,
Yeah,
then we can have later, that is next stage.
absolutely. And Saranya Mataji, it's good that you show that concern, because this
Yeah.
is what it will be like when people go there. They will be saying how they, it's got to be a group agreement, you see? And so that's the place to say, look, I don't feel I could take it any further than this, and this is what I would like. So, when somebody lost somebody, for instance, sometimes they don't want all this blah 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 blah. Oh, I know what you should be doing, blah blah blah. And you shouldn't be crying. You shouldn't be this. It's not that. It's just a hand, just a touch. You touch that person. You put your hand on their shoulder. That's sometimes just is the strongest little bond that you could reach out and support somebody with. You don't have to be blind and talking too much and telling them what they should be doing and all that. So it's, as you say, you know, just, you just listen and hear. Just that's sometimes people just want you to listen to their difficulties, and they are offloading it, and they feel that, oh, I'm putting it in a safe place. It's not going to go any further. And it's up to you. You choose the level you want to offload. People in our group also, people offload things that are confidential, and that's individual's choice, isn't it? But what to do with it is another story. That's the biggest crunch. And if you're not able to help, there are other places you can direct people, signpost them to there. Different places they can have help. And I don't profess to be, I have the answers and I am professional and I'm very good and I know best. I don't do that. So I know it's a very good point you brought up anyway. Thank you. What
Hare
do other
Krishna.
people say?
Yes, Mataji, as you and Amoga Prabhu mentioned, yes, it is like maybe in the starting we'll go like a group, and if need, or we can like keep an option, like if you prefer to be a one-on-one session, they can just reach out to you or Amoga Prabhu, and I would like to, or something like that. So I was thinking like when Mataji was saying like, because when normally what happens is like every people will have their own opinions for everyone's situations, right? So
Yeah,
so if
absolutely.
people will, so if we discuss a group issue in a team, if there are three people will have three different opinions. So that's what I was thinking, Mataji. So, but absolutely, like when we move as a team, so this is what we can do, like because we don't meet regularly, we don't know personally, like how everyone's story is different, right? So this is what we can do, like some.
Absolutely. And if you don't know what you're doing or how you should approach people, you're playing with their lives. You got to be careful. You know, people have their
Absolutely,
choice.
Mataji, because these are sensitive things. So
Absolutely, very
if
sensitive.
some devotees know that their issues has been discussed in the outer way, it will collapse all. So this is like the devotee association that they will. So it is like Prabhupada, like it's in a blade, razor blade. So if we move that or this way, it will collapse all. So absolutely, it's a very sensitive thing. So we should. But thank you so much for bringing this idea, Mataji, because it is very needed. Because everyone will think like a devotee's life is easy, but no, they all have their own issues. So devotee care is something we need. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for being compassionate and
Devotee
thinking about it.
live in this material world, so we
Yes,
contaminate it all the time. And it's hard to, doesn't mean they don't have problems.
yes,
So that's why we're offering, because we're a group and we're all trying to enlighten our lives, and be Krishna conscious. So how do we do it all when we're living in this difficult material world? How do we sieve it out and get the best out of it? I know your concern is very natural and normal. So there's no and people, when you say group, people scared, right? But when you meet, you should all agree, like form a contract between you. So what we'll do, we form a contract. We'll say this is the agreement, and maybe we can sign up if you want to sign up, because to say we agree to this, that's another step. But you don't have to. If we agree it, we have to stick to the rule. And if somebody divert and they breach the contract, we can actually exclude them. And maybe there will be propaganda. Who knows? It's a chance you take. It's one of them things in life. Every step you make, you're taking a chance. You're taking a risk in every step you make in the real world. So how do we deal with those risks? This is the thing. This is the key. So it will be a group decision. I would not be deciding for anybody. If they wanted, that is, you see, no, but if people don't want it, that's fine. But it's attracting people because they want help. I will be committing, so I'm not going to be losing out in any way if people don't come, and I wouldn't be annoyed. I wouldn't be, feeling let down or anything like that.
Yes, Mataji, the effort or the thought you had is like very, very really appreciable. Like, thank you for thinking. But I was just mentioning, like, it is a sensitive thing, so we should be very careful before executing it, because we have to think in all angle before executing this. So I was just thinking.
So what I was thinking of originally, when we do agree to meet and discuss, it will be lighter things, and then if somebody wants to do a one-to-one, they could request it, and then we can consider it. I mean, I wouldn't be working on my own, myself and Amuga Prabhu, and then we'll think it over. I, to tell you the truth, what I see Amuga Prabhu is doing is, it's like every day he's doing therapy with us. He's actually helping us to see a better way. So it's like that, and then people would, what it will be is just like, it will be a short period, so we'll have a slot for each other to say what they want and what they don't want to say. It's their choice, and what kind of things they would want to discuss, and it will be a lighter thing, like like today I felt a bit upset because you couldn't get the children off to school earlier on, and I had this to do and that to do, and things like that, to start with. And then if they choose that they want something deeper, they can request a one-to-one, or ask if where is there somewhere else I can go, and things like that. So originally it's just a shoulder to lean on, or a listening ear.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So we'll send a message and we'll continue from there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll keep this continuation will keep going on.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Muguprabhu Janagane Mataji. Sorry if I stuffed your enthusiasm or something, like I just opened my
No,
heart,
you
like
didn't. No,
what
You,
no.
I
you,
feel. Hare
you,
Krishna.
you have given very good suggestion, Mataji. That is,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll see that one. First of all, let us start that one. I'll send
But
it.
I'm also trying to clarify, and I think you can go on and on and on and clarify.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you, Haribol.
Yeah, I'll see that one, Mataji, after the post and based on the response. Okay, so we
Yeah.
shall now move on to the next part, Ramayana. So we have been reading Ramayana book. So for last, I think it is almost a year. In the last session, Ramachandra, Sita Devi, and Lakshmana. So they have gone to the forest now. And Ayodhya, it is seemed at the time to be like the firmament bereft of the moon. Everywhere its citizens shed tears, and all of them felt like giving up their lives. No one rejoiced on any occasion, even when coming upon unexpected fortune or seeing the birth of a firstborn son. Merchants did not display their merchandise, nor did the goods even seem attractive. Householders did not cook food and household deities were neglected. As the men returned home without Rama, their wives reproached them. Without seeing Rama, what is the use of our house, children, or wealth? The wives said, it seems the only virtuous man in this world is Lakshman, who has followed Rama to the forest in order to serve him. So, in such a way, all the uh, people of citizens of Ayodhya, they have been contemplating and appreciating Lakshmana's determination and also reproaching their husbands. What is the use of? So, this is what is the use of in our day-to-day life, in our families, if we do not have peace of mind and we do not have a life, ultimate aim of life, what is the use of our lives? So, one has to always think. Without seeing Rama, what is the use of our house? Ramante yogino anante satyanande chiratmani. Satyanande chiratmani. If one is not experiencing this highest eternal happiness, what is the use? That is called iti ramapadena asau parabrahmam abhidhiyate. That is parabrahma. One who is experiencing the highest pleasure, that is only when he is connecting with Rama. Parabrahma, that is Rama, Parabrahma. Iti Parabrahman Abhideyate. So without that eternal happiness, no use of all our lives. All the temporary things keep on rotting in this material world. So this is the statements of Ayodhya people. Okay, so we shall continue there. So we have been rotting here so many times, so many lifetimes. Okay, so we take the turns. Can I request any alphabetical order? Usha Mataji, can you start with the first three paragraphs, please?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. The men pained by the loss of Rama made no reply. Their wives lamented at length. How could they remain under the protection of the old king, who had lost his good sense and sent Rama away? Worse still was the prospect of serving a KK, whose aim was now completely achieved. Having forsaken her husband and disgraced her family for the sake of power, who else would she not abandon? The ladies could not contain their feelings. Out of despair, they remonstrated with their husbands. Thanks to Kaikeyi, his kingdom will be ruined. With Rama gone, Dasratha will soon meet his end along with his distinguished line, which has exist, existed for so long. How can there be any good fortune with Kaikeyi in position of power? We should therefore end our lives, or we should follow Rama to some distant place where Kaikeyi's name will never be heard. The glorious and ever truthful Ram shall be our only shelter. As the ladies of Ayodhya lamented, the sun gradually set on the city, living in dark and cheerless, its lights unlit and its temples and public meeting places deserted. Fallen upon evil days, the celebrated city became silent, the sound of singing, reducing the instrumental music having ceased. All the people remained in their own homes, thinking only of Ram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, this is the lamentation of the Ayodhya people. And here the wives of the citizens, so they are saying, um, see, thinking only of Rama, and they have neglected all, even to switch on the lights in their homes, and temples, public meeting places are deserted, and they wanted to go to the place where they don't want to hear the Kaikeyi's name at all. And they're also saying, criticizing Dashrada will soon meet his end, along with his distinguished line. So now the citizens of the Ayodhya, they are very, very intelligent as well, knowing that Rama is the ultimate. This is Rama, that is Krishna consciousness, which is giving the highest pleasure, which does not, you do not have to spend money to buy something. You just need to have the complete knowledge, the complete faith and detachment with the material world. Then you would experience all this happiness. That is Ramante Yogino Anante. Okay, so that is the mood of Ayodhya. So we shall continue. And Jahnakanya Mataji, would you like to read next 3 paragraphs, please?
Hare Krishna. Going more slowly as he passed the people, Rama heard their comments and he smiled.
Mataji,
Is
so
that the one?
1 minute. During that night.
Oh, but I can't see it. It's need to go up a bit more.
You need to do.
Oh, I
run.
know. Cancel. How do I remove this?
Zoom out.
Yeah, zoom out. Okay, zoom out. It says,
Zoom out, scroll up.
it can't scroll up. It's got a big thing with all of our name. Or maybe if I, with our names. So 1 minute, a little bit more. Okay, during the night, the chariot carrying the prince covered a long distance. As they traveled, Rama remembered the pain of his relations and people. Reflecting again and again upon his father's command, he kept his determination strong and urged Sumantra to drive swiftly. They passed many villages, seeing on their outskirts well-tiled and cultivated fields, as well as beautiful blossoming woodlands. People from the villages to where the news of Rama exile had already spread, saw the chariot passing by, and they passing by, and they censored the emperor and especially Kaikeyi, saying, "The cruel Kaikeyi has acted without propriety. She has caused the exile of the highly virtuous Rama. What will become of us now? How will the delicate princess Sita survive in the forest? How shameful that the king could abandon all affection for such a son and daughter-in-law." I got to scroll down, all right? Oh, you have got to move it, Prabhu? It's not moving. Can you scroll? Yeah, Haribo. Going more slowly as he passed the people, Rama heard their comments, and he smiled at them without saying anything. As the chariot moved on more swiftly, the travelers saw innumerable gardens, fruit orchards, and lotus ponds, temples resonant with the sounds of incarnations were everywhere, of sacred incarnations were everywhere. While sitting in the chariot and enjoying the sights of his flourishing kingdom, Rama thought of his coming exile. He would long for the day of his return to his prosperous land of Kaushalya. Kaushalya? As they at last reached Kaushala, southern border, Rama got down from the chariot and stood facing the direction of the Ayodhya. With his face covered in tears, he spoke in a choked voice, I take leave of you, O forest of cities, protected by the emperor and your presiding deities, may you fare well. When I have squared my debt to my father and fulfilled his pledge, I shall return. Hare Krishna. Oh my, how sad. I never known that he was crying. Bless him.
Yes, Rama. So now, Rama, when he is among the people, so his mood is different. He has a responsibility so that he make other people to pacify. And here now, when he is in the forest, so now he is in the middle of the in between the Ayodhya and the forest. He needs to enter into the forest. So got on the chariot and stood facing the direction of Ayodhya, his face covered in tears. He spoke. So now he is now exhibiting his tears. And here, so far, because he is not because of he is alone, so many people are worrying in a distressed condition or um, they do not have any cheerful face. So far, Ayodhya was very brilliant. Now Rama is living here. So now, but still, it is Rama's duty to fulfill his father's promise. And then here, one more thing we see here. The temples resonate with the sounds of sacred incantations were everywhere. Incantations were everywhere. This is what the auspicious thing to happen in wherever we are living. We must every day, every hour, we should be hearing these incantations. The Sanskrit incarnate, the Purusha Sukta, and glorifying the Lord from the Samaveda, and um, so many things. Like, for example, if you go to the temple, there, for example, I'm speaking about um, Tirumala temple, there 24 hours a day. So these Vedic mantras are going on, the songs of the Lord going on, and then pujas are going on. We keep here all positively charged. We see the Vaikuntha here in down. So this is incantations to glorify the Lord. Starting from the Purusha Sukta in the morning, Suprabhata Seva, Tomala Seva, different kinds of the services, everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Lord is simply sitting on the throne and he is enjoying with all his opulences. And here, such kind of things, the villages and the temples all are resonant with the sounds of sacred incantations. It makes everything auspicious. And also people's life, it would increase the lifespan of the peoples as well. It would reduce the diseases in the places where people are hearing this every day, these Sanskrit incantations. They do not get any diseases much and all auspicious. No more bad news unnecessarily. That is the uh, we have seen this practically. If we see those Tirumala, if you get a chance to just go and see, and also Sri Rangam or the Vishnu temples, all the time we see this hearing the Purusha Sukta, Brahmanas are chanting Rigveda mantras. Very wonderful. But we are in the devotional service, but ultimately we have to please the Lord only. That is the ultimate essence of everything. For that, everything is aligned. So many Vedic scriptures, glories, and everything are there. Okay, so that is from that point, and then can you request Asha Mataji to continue further?
Many country dwellers had gathered around Rama. They were filled with grief to see him bid his sad farewell to Ayodhya. Rama glanced at them with affection. He thanked them for the love they showed for him and told them to go home. The people simply stood gazing at Rama, unable to move. Although he urged them to return home, they stood rooted to the spot. They could not run away. Sorry, they could not turn away from the heroic and handsome prince. As they stood watching, Rama renounced his chariot and disappeared into the distance. Even as the sun sets at the end of the day. Gradually, the party reached the Ganges River in the Usharania province. Along the banks of the river, for as far as the eye could see in both distance, were clustered the heritages of, of injustice and right. Hundreds of hills ran along the length of the river, and the river flowed with cool water flecked with white foam, making a roaring sound as it is rushed past. Somewhere the river, somewhere the river ran still deep, and somewhere else is dashed violently against rocks. In places it was covered with white lotuses, while in others thousands of swans, cranes, and herons hovered on its water. It was the resort of the even gods and Gandharvas who spotted who, who sported along its banks, surrounded by trees laden with fruits and flowers, and full of varieties of singing birds. The river appears most beautiful. Sorry, and the letters were so tiny, I find it so hard to see.
Hare
Sorry.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely read. So here, so Ramachandra, and many while he was there, many country dwellers and gathered around Rama. They were filled with grief to see him, hear his and sad farewell to Ayodhya. So again, they are also been attracted to the Lord Ramchandra. And Rama is glanced at them with affection. He thanked them for the love they had showed for him, and told them to go home. So this is Lord is always with he glances with affection. Uh, this is prema smita sne with loving affections. He glances. There are so many things. This is what we needed. If we go and stand in front of the deity, and his glances are upon us, it will reduce so much of our distress. Shokasra sagar vishoshinam ati udharam. Hasavalok kalaya ramayam cha vishwam. His glances to be fall on these conditioned souls. Then all our lamentation, distress will be gone. And here the people simply stood gazing at Rama, unable to move, although he urged them to return home. They stood rooted to the spot. They could not turn away from the heroic and handsome prince. So here, when we see the person, if he's so beautiful, we cannot change our the eyes direction. So especially here, it is when it is Ramachandra or Krishna, they are so attractive and beautiful. They stood watching. Rama remounted his chariot and it disappeared into the distance, even as the sun sets at the end of the day. Like whenever gopis are atati yadbhavanahnikananam trutiryugayate tvamapakshatam. So tvamapasyatam. So Kutila Kuntalam. So this is very beautifully they are singing and they're criticizing Brahma why he has made these eyelids to close even for a moment, which is stopping to see Krishna. So here these people they stood just like that to the spot and then only watching Krishna. They could not turn away from the heroic and handsome Prince Ramachandra. They stood watching Rama, but remounted his chariot and it disappeared into distance. Like when Krishna when he is moving from Vrindavan to Madura, again, all the Vrindavan people are just simply standing and looking at Krishna, but he's simply sitting on the chariot. Akrura was taking Krishna to Madura. So here, Sumantra is taking Ramachandra to the forest, even as the sun sets at the end of the day. So gradually the party reached the Ganges River in the Ushinara province. Ushinara province along the banks and along the banks of the river, for as far as the eye could see in both directions, were clustered the hermitages of ascetics and rishis. So when there is hermitages of ascetics and rishis, we need to understand it is for place of austerities. We should not go if we are of materialistic nature. In the Himalaya mountains, Janmaushadi Tapo Mantra Yoga Siddhaihi Naretaraihi Justam Kinnara Gandharvaihi Apsurobihi Vrutam Sada. And many people in the Himalaya mountains, Janma Aushadi, so it is the place for the medicines. Tapo Mantraihi, Tapasya, mantras, that is the source of Himalaya mountains. Yoga Siddhaihi, Naretaraihi, Yoga Siddhaihi, people who are attaining the Siddhis, and also Naretaraihi, not the human, ordinary humans, they are beyond. Justam Kinnara Gandharvaihi, these Kinnaras and the Gandharvas and Apsaras, Apsarobihi, Vrutam Sada, it is filled with all kinds of celestial people. That is the Himalaya mountains. So this bank, and also they were this Alakananda, Nanda, those rivers are going on, flowing there. And they are Nana Manimanehi Sringaihi, Nana Dhatu Vichitritaihi. All these mountains filled with so many of jewels. Nana Manimanehi Sringaihi, Nana Dhatu Vichitritaihi, Nana Druma Lata Gulmaihi. So many trees and creepers. Nana Druma Gulmaihi, and then Nana Mrugagana Avrutaihi, so many of these animals like deers, different kinds of deers. It is filled with all auspiciousness and Nana Amala Prashravanaihi, Nana Kandara Sanubihi, Ramanam Viharinti Nam Ramanaihi Siddhayoshitam. And very beautiful waterfalls are going on with making the noises, waterfall noises, and so many of these the green valleys, Kandarasanubihi, and the caves, and Ramanam Viharinti Nam Ramanaihi Siddhayoshitam, and very beautiful women, they are all wandering here and there. Siddhayoshitam, the women who have got these ascetic powers as well. The celestial women, they're also wandering in those such kind of places, but it is not it is not the place for the ordinary people to go and do the business there. It is for the ascetics. We need to give such kind of places for people who are performing austerities. Vrindavana is meant for peaceful life and for the devotees like that, not to go and do the business there. So likewise, the beauty is also glorified in the Himalaya mountains, and there are so many of birds and animals, flowers, everything. It makes everything surcharged with the positive energy. We should not go and show our passionate there. Okay, this is the hermitages of the ascetics and rishis. Hundreds of hills ran along the length of the river, and the river flowed with cool water flecked with white foam, making a roaming sound. So as it trusted past, so this is very beautifully those places. The very big trees, ahvayantam ivoddhastaihi, dvijan kamadugaihi drumaihi, vrajantimiva matangaihi, grunantimiva nirgharaihi. The big trees, they're spreading their branches and then calling. So branches are just spread in such a way that they are calling all the birds. Oh, birds come and here and sit on top of us and eat the fruits. In such a way, they are inviting the birds. Ahvayantam yuvodhastaihi dvijan kamudugaihi drumaihi vrajanti matangaihi. The elephants are going just like a mountain, moving mountains. Vrajanti matangaihi grunanti nirgaraihi. And beautiful, these waterfalls are also going on. मन्दारैः पारिजातस्य सरलैश्च उपशोभितम् तमालवा तमालसालतालैश्च कोविदार आसुरार्जुनैः कदम्बैः नीपैः कदम्बैः च्यूतैः कदम्बैः नीपैश्च नागपुन्नागचम्पकैः पाटल अशोकवकुलैः कुन्दमन्दार कुटजैः. So these are very, very beautiful trees and flowers. It is mentioned in these Himalaya mountains where these ascetics live. But of course, here Rama is also in the Ayodhya, where it is nearer to those Himalayan ranges when compared to the throughout the world or in India itself. So this is the place one has to go with very less things, not taking all the phones and laptops, all the nonsense and dresses of the cities and the not like that. Just live. If we go there, live like ascetics with simple dress. That's it. Only one simple cloth. Even it is women, they know how to artistically cover their body with only simple living and keep their hair matted as well. Even though it is women, and decorate with the naturally whatever the flowers coming from the forest. So likewise, and then Swarnana Patresha Vararenuka Jatibihi Vararenuka Jatibihi Kubjakaihi Mallika Madhavi Bisham Madhavi flowers, Mallika flowers, so many flowers. These are all, and also trees saying that Panas Udambar Ashwadha Plakshanya Grodha Hingubihi Budjibihi Voshadibihi Pugaihi Rajapugaish Jambubihi. These are different kinds of auspicious trees. Panasa jackfruit trees, Udumbara trees, and Ashwadha is a peepal tree, and Plaksha Nyagrodha is a banyan tree. Hingubihi, this is the asphotated trees which is coming from those Hingubihi, and Pugaihi Voshadibihi, and again these are different kinds of trees. I don't know the English names for them. Rajapugaish Jambubihi. Jambubihi is the kind of berries. The very juicy fruits. We don't find them in these Western countries. So these are very beautiful things. And Kajura Amritaka Amrajaihi. Kajura is the dates. Amritaka is mangoes. Amrajaihi Goa. Amra खज्जुरामृतकाम्राज्यैः प्रियालमधुक इङ्गुदैः प्रियालमधुक इङ्गुदैः न द्रुमजादिभिः अन्यैश्च राजितुं वेणुकीचकैः. So many brooms and they are grown like that. See the beauty we can see here, whatever is existing in the Himalayan mountains, while present here in our homes, while reciting these verses, we can experience that happiness and pleasure just by hearing those things, the beauty of it. Okay, so just I don't want to proceed too much. There are so many beautiful descriptions of those things. Okay, so that is here. The roaring sound it rushed past, and then somewhere the river ran and deep, and somewhere else it dashed violently against the rocks. In places it was covered with white lotuses, while in others thousands of swans, cranes, and herons. कलहंसकुलप्रेष्टं करधण्डा जलाशयं रक्तकण्टक अगानीक Swaramandita Shatpadam. So this is Rakta Kanta Ghaganika Swaramandita Shatpadam. They are chirping with beautiful noises, these cranes, swans, and everything. Kalaham Sukala Preshtam Karadhanda Jalasayam. So this is again the swans, cranes, and making beautiful and the flock of birds going in a sky. It makes so beautiful, and they are hovering in the waters. It was the resort of even gods and Gandharvas, who stopped along its banks. And whenever Gandharvas are going with their concerts, Yeyo Hotatsna, and they enjoy Pum Pum Samsinchanto, Kridanti Pumso, Sinchanto, Vigahyarati Karshitaha, Yeyo Hotatrihi. This woman, after sporting with their husbands, Vigahyarati Karshitaha. So after mating them and then mating themselves, and then they come to these waters and take bath. And then Yeho Tatsnan Vibrastarnava Kunkuma Pinjaram Vitrushopi Pavanjantaha Payanto Gajagajihi. And they take bath in these waters, and then the vermilion, the powder of their bodies, it is mixed with the water when they took the bath. At the same water turns into reddish color. And the elephants, they come to take drink the water. Even though they are not thirsty, they drink those waters. Vitrushopi Pibantyambaha Payanto Gajagajihi, the male elephants and female elephants. So that beauty is glorified very much in this Srimad Bhagavatam. And then this is Gandharvas who sported along with its banks, surrounded by trees laden with fruits and flowers and full of varieties of singing birds. The river appeared most beautiful. This is the natural. This is called nature, naturality. So we need to live in such kind of conditions, which is conducive for the spiritual progress. Of course, we all see that material happiness also goes parallelly, but our life is one. So here, ascetics, yoga siddhaihi naretaraihi, janmaushadi tapo mantraihi. So seeing the celestial region, Rama decided to stop for the night. He took shelter under the branches of a large tree and sat down to offer worship to the Ganges. And Sumantra unyoked the horses and allowed them to drink and then roll on the grassy river bank. The charioteer stood, folded hands near Rama, who sat peacefully with Sita by his side. So here, when we are going to the riverside, if there is a nice grass, we just sit on the grass and then roll. We don't need all kinds of picnic blankets and all these things. We need to be on the natural. Sukdev Goswami says that. Why we need all kinds of things when we don't need pillows, while we have got hands keep under the head and live peacefully. While you have got trees, why you need so much of houses? And while you have got nice grass bed, why you need some separate bed and cot, something like that? So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj in the second canto, that is waste of everything in the endeavor to make the comfortable. It is the waste of time. The comfortness, you would feel 1 or 2 days and 3 days like that. It will become normal for you. It is just you can use it for it. You don't need a separate endeavor to make it good for it. If it is naturally coming, you take it and go, but you don't put separate effort in order to make it comfortable. Comfortable even in hard conditions. Once you're used for it, you would be happy with it. You don't feel any kind of uh, discomfort later on because you're used for it. So comforts, it makes no sense in the materialistic life. So likewise, so here and roll on the grass river bank. So and then Sumantra, as usually, he come to Rama and stood with folded near Rama, who sat peacefully with Sita by his side. Okay, so that is where we shall stop here. And also there is where when Guha will come and meet Ramchandra. So that is again Guha is a devotee of Ramchandra. And I stop there. We shall continue that one further. I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or any reflections on Ramachandra's story, please kindly share. Any questions, kindly ask. Hare Krishna. Any questions or any sharings, or you wanted to share anything that you have gone to some places?
Uh, so beautiful discussion, Prabhu. Very nice. And then, yeah, the Rama, how the people are very affected to him. And then, yeah, they want to Ayodhya Vasi, want to go with him. And then cursing the KK, said how she is. But, yeah, it's so nice. But the KK, how she feels afterwards, when then she realized what she have done to Rama. Is it she's gonna be realized, Prabhu? Then she feel regret afterwards.
Yes. Kaikeyi's desire and lamentation and regret is just a very short period. But before that, she was good, and after that, again, she'll be good. But she takes a big kind of the negative impressions by many people. So, because she was influenced by mantra very quickly in a night, the bad association.
Yes, Prabhu. So mantra was before then she didn't realize, and when the mantra in few words, when she's saying your son, but she was she was loving Rama so much, and then but still she the communicate mantras talk, and then she has decided to yes, so her son Bharata is more important than afterwards Rama. So how she is that only few words and mantra talking to her, and then she is listening to her. So change everything just like that in a day.
Yes.
It's amazing, though, Prabhu. It's a good lesson what Brahma is demonstrated, because when he had loved her and she had loved him, just well, she made a mistake, which was a major, major, big mistake, but he didn't hold it against her. He continued loving her, didn't he? When he went back straight, he went on, touched her feet. So
Yes.
that is a good lesson to us, that we hold grudges just because somebody, a family member or a friend, make a mistake. We don't forgive them, and then we spoil the relationship, which is so sad.
So this is kind of asking forgiveness, and also asking forgiveness, and also we forgive them without any conditions. That is the great quality, asking forgiveness and also forgive them without asking. So these are the very great qualities.
Yeah.
There is a festival as well. If we have done knowingly or unknowingly make mistakes, even Prabhupada as well, when in his last moments, he has sent a letter to Gaudiya, all of his god brothers, saying that in the mission of preaching Krishna consciousness, I might have been a bit hard with my god brothers. So please forgive me for my if I have made any offenses. And then Prabhupada is also mentioned that. So what to speak of ourselves? There is no. We can just boldly ask forgiveness. That is a great quality. It is not a cheap thing or we did mistake. Knowingly or unknowingly we did mistake. Before there is a pashatap. This is kind of a before we leave this body. What is that as English word? The pashatapa praishita. The praishita needs to be done. If we have made knowingly or unknowingly any mistakes and asking for forgiveness, we perform this prashchitta karma. There is a particular process.
Yeah. We commonly say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it doesn't mean anything, does it, if you don't show it?
Yes, Mataji.
Mm.
So that is, one has to live in that qualities. Okay, so
Yes, sometimes it's hard to say sorry to for somebody, or somebody is very like that. Said, oh, okay, I can't say sorry or something, isn't it? So some are very like, even that they see their mistake, but they find very difficult to say sorry.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
because of ego, isn't it? You want to
ego.
Yes,
say,
yeah.
If that
it's
is the
true.
main ingredient, people are struggling, fighting each other. Just ego.
Yeah.
Okay. Asha Mataji, you wanted to share anything like in Sri Lanka, where Sita Mata was there in the Ashokavana, and it might have been very, I don't know. I have
I
not.
never, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I never get the chance to go there. If I go next time, I will visit, definitely visit. But people in Sri Lanka, most of them, most of my so-called friends and relatives, they glorify Ravana instead of Rama, Prabhu. They always argue with me, and they say, "Oh, he's an Aryan, he come from north," and all these things. I get so much upset and angry, and I try to explain them, but they don't listen.
Yes, they absorbed. Ravana is a Brahmana.
Yeah, I did say them, and but they said the old scripture, they are not true. All these things they are saying.
Yeah, it is because if we have got a king in our or in our village, a king or country, we all appreciate our king. We do not want to make him downwards. But actually, if we see the overall throughout the world, that is based on thereof just only Lanka. That is what they feel. But if we see the bigger picture, we need to see. Of course, Ravana is a guy in Jaya in his previous life.
Yeah, I did explain to them, but they don't want to accept it or believe it.
Yes, and Ravana, though, he has got all the knowledge, Vedic knowledge, but he used it for personal sense gratification,
Yeah.
not for the pleasure of the Lord. That's why he was at the end, died in the hand of Ramchandra.
When I was in Sri Lanka, Prabhu, there was the 30 years war. So all the time we were displacing one place to other place to another place. So we didn't actually get to visit other places like the holy places where the Sita Mata captured and all these places. Then nowadays you can visit. Those days very strict to visit other places, but nowadays I can visit. But I came to this country after that. I didn't get the chance.
Yeah. So these historical things only to we can just go and feel. So whatever we have reading, we have been reading from the scriptures, hearing from Ramayana, Mahabharata, the historical evidence are still existing. There is
Yes.
again historical about the Mahabharata, the real history, recent history, and Krishna's all palaces they are sunk in the water in the Arabia Ocean. Likewise, in the Hindu Ocean as well. This bridge that the Rama constructed between India and Lanka.
Yeah.
So those still there are evidences. These are practical things we see. Not only this, there are so many evidences. They are not advertised in the papers because they don't yield any money for them. Business they do not. If advertisements are only for business. If they say that in the temple if there is a day where Ramchandra is there, they don't get any money there. That's why they are not being advertised. But all these historical events, facts, they exist. We need to devotees go and practically visit. Then everything will be aligned. Scripture injunctions, history. They will get a firm faith later on.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So like we see here, the scripture, and we're seeing the picture of this Jaya and Vijay in the pictures, and this, that is how we get the confidence. And so many people, they have gone to Vaikuntha.
And also they ask our relative and friends, they ask us, oh, why you worshipping Lord Krishna and Rama? You should be worshipping Krishna and all other demigods. They don't accept, they don't understand.
Yes, Mataji. They don't have
I
much knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to explain, and they have no, they don't want to even accept it. So I stopped arguing with them.
Yes, there are two levels of illusory energy: covering illusory energy, throwing illusory energy. Covering means though they are nearer, though they have been hearing, though they are seeing the facts and the history, they do not accept. That is covering illusory energy. Throwing illusory energy, they will be far away from all facts and truths about the Lord. They're very far. They haven't got a chance to hear.
Yeah, I was like that, Prabhu. I used to pray all the demigods, but I don't know. Somehow I love Krishna from the beginning, but I used to pray other demigods as well.
Yes.
So after I've started hearing and learning from devotees, then I stopped doing all these demigods worshipping.
Yes. So many people, when they're speaking, some people speaks about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the very good language, good scripture. Everyone accepts that one. Okay, yes, that is one first point. What is said in the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says that so many things, and we generally hear Shri Krishna Paramatma, and we do not say so many other demigods and keep.
We don't say Muruga Paramatma or Ganesha Paramatma. We say Krishna Paramatma.
Yes, so that is right. And got a differentiation. So there, that is how I got connected. Why these people are saying, and then why they go, if he is not Paramatma, why they are worshipping? And then, but still that covering energy, illusory energy, it keeps us to go in the materialistic life. Though we understand some truth, but we have not explored too much there. But when we see some struggles in their life, immediately or coming in contact with the devotees, reading some part of the scripture, then everything will come into one big picture. Saying that, oh, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone are his subordinates, and I must be knowing this Bhagavad Gita, I must be reading Bhagavatam, I must be knowing everything else, all secret knowledge. Then everything will be revealed. People speak about Bhagavad Gita, but they don't know what is inside the Bhagavad Gita. That is covering illusory energy.
Yes, yes.
So thank you so much, Mataji, for
Hare
sharing.
Krishna Prabhu, in my case, we didn't know any different. There was nobody else to tell us any different. So we just went along with the demigods, Lord Shiva, Durga. We worship all those demigods when I was a child. And but I think the core value of what you should be and what the most important principles of how you should be and valuing life and other people, the teachings were there, and I suppose that was give me that core value that to be a bit different. But yeah, we did. I never heard of Rawan being worshipped though and praised and glorified in that way. I'm sorry, this is the first time I've heard that, Ashimataji.
Yeah, most Sri Lankans, they do that, Maharaj.
I've met loads of Sri Lankan people, but they were mostly Buddhist or Christians, not many Hindus. And when I did speak to the Hindu ones, they didn't seem to be following.
They worship Hanuman as well, no? In Sri Lanka.
They do. I used to, yeah, I love Hanuman. But I know some of them are very different, Maharaj.
Yeah.
But actually, there were no Krishna temple when I was young. There were so many Vishnu temple, but there's none Krishna temple.
No, me too. Yeah.
But nowadays they have ISKCON centers in all over the
All over the world. Yeah.
in Sri Lanka as well, all over the continent.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those things. So World ISKCON is the hope for the entire world to bring everyone into one common platform. Otherwise, people worshipping, in order to respect devotees of Lord Shiva or Murugan or anyone, it is on the bodily platform. But there is a hierarchy of demigods as well, and Krishna is on top. Okay, so that is, thank you for sharing all this. If you're all happy, we shall conclude and continue with further chapter. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां
Devyo Vaishnavejo. Namo Namaha.
अनन्तकोटि
Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
Nityananda Seva Jagadada